I'm going to attempt to show you how to log your lunch, for example, when using MyFitnessPal. So I'm going to make a veggie wrap, and I've got these lavash breads, and the great thing about products like this is you can just scan the barcode. So I could just scan the barcode here, and that would bring up the correct food in MyFitnessPal, and then it's just going to ask me to enter in the portion size. So I'm pulling out one. So when it comes up in MyFitnessPal, it's going to ask for portion size, and you can usually use the back of the container as an idea of what the serving sizes might be when it asks you in the app. So you can see on here that the serving size is 1 sheet, and that's exactly what I'm using. So then I know that for this amount of bread, I usually like a 1/4 cup of hummus. So I've got lemon hummus from Whole Foods, and it also has a barcode, so you could scan that to bring it up. But then it's going to ask for amount, and I happen to know that I usually like about a 1/4 cup. So I actually have a measuring cup here to make sure I'm getting an accurate amount. The serving size on hummus is usually about 2 tablespoons, and I'm doubling that because there are 4 tablespoons in a 1/4 cup. So for this, to cover this nicely, I feel like I need a 1/4 cup. And get every last bit that I measured out, and then I'm going to spread it. So I know it's going to feel really tedious to use measuring cups and measuring spoons, but it really is the only way to get an accurate assessment of how much you're eating, because most of us aren't very good at eyeballing or guessing serving sizes. So, and we can get good at it. If we start measuring first, then we can usually be pretty good at eyeballing it, because we'll have measured what an ounce of cheese looks like 3 or 4 times, and then you'll just know for next time. Okay, I'm also going to add some lettuce to this. This is a salad mix. It also has a barcode, so we can scan it in. And I know that I want about a cup. And this is a pretty rough measure because lettuce doesn't have a lot of calories anyway, so if I don't get it quite right, it's not going to make that much difference in the accuracy. So I got about a cup, of lettuce. That's what about a cup looks like, a cup measure. Spread that out. And I'm also going to add tomatoes to this. And I happen to have cherry tomatoes at home. So I eyeballed about a 1/2 cup, and in this case it turned out to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cherry tomatoes. And then I diced those, and this is how much it came out to be. And I actually measured it with my measuring cup, and it is 1/2 cup. So this amount of cherry tomatoes is equal to this amount of cherry tomatoes, which are both equal to a 1/2 cup. So when you enter cherry tomatoes into the app, you might get some options. I know when I've added them before, sometimes it lets me put in how many cherry tomatoes by the tomato, so you could put in 8. But if you get the option to put it in by measured amount, then you'll know it was a 1/2 cup. And then the last ingredient in my wrap is coconut chips. This is what they look like. They also have a barcode on the back, but you can see on the serving size on here, it's 180 calories for a 1 ounce serving, and I'm not going to use that much, and I don't want to add 200 calories to my sandwich just from coconut chips. So I've got a food scale here, which comes in super handy. And I know that I want somewhere in the vicinity of a 1/4 cup, so I'm just going to eyeball that. So I put my little measuring container on here, and I hit tare, so it goes to 0. But since this is in ounces, that makes me think that when I enter the portion size into the app, it's going to ask for ounces. So I can change the unit on my schedule, on my scale here from kilos and ounces and grams. So there's ounces, and I'm going to eyeball how many I want, which it should be about a 1/4 cup, but as many basically as I want to cover my bread. And I've got point, can you see that? Oh. It's basically 0.55 ounces. So basically you could round that to a 1/2 ounce of coconut chips that I'm going to add. So there, I've got my sandwich pretty much taken care of. So my plan would be to use the barcode scanner for essentially all of those ingredients. And then if I'm going to have some fruit on the side, I decided to have a Sungold kiwi, which is basically like a regular kiwi except they're yellow. And I looked ahead of time in the app, and it had Sungold kiwi with a serving size of 100 grams, which should be probably about 1. So I changed the unit on here. And I was just curious how close mine was to what the app said, and mine is 111 grams. So I'm essentially going to enter that as 1. I could put it in as 1.1 because the serving size is 100 grams for my fruit that I'm going to have on the side. So that gives you an idea of how you're going to take a lot longer to make and eat a meal when you're tracking your food, but it's going to give you some pretty valuable information. Once you get accurate data into MyFitnessPal, it will give you accurate data back out, and it can help you make important health decisions.